so we're here with Coach Tion Connors. Right now, we're doing a Tough Talks episode 1. I brought Coach Tion on, asked him to kind of speak with me. He and I have had connections. Man, we've known each other for about 3-4 years now. He and I connected, and he's an unbelievable basketball coach and trainer. But more than that, one of the biggest connections that he and I had was when we first started kind of working a little bit together. I noticed immediately that he looked beyond just a simple skill. It wasn't just, hey, I'm going to teach this kid this skill and then move on. He has his kids, his individuals working with, they got a notebook. They got to write down their focus, their goal, their dream, what they want to work for. So it was always purpose driven. That was kind of the thing that first intrigued me and brought me and drew me into Coach Tion. And then I noticed this really, to be honest, is attentiveness to detail and it's attentiveness to work ethic. And it was crazy to me because I felt like he and I were on the same page right from the start. We understood that it goes beyond sport. It goes beyond just a simple, like I said, all right, we're going to be working on this today and then done. It was a bigger picture, an overall development model that was spent to youth all the way up to high school, to college, and to professional. And I feel like nowadays, with the climate that we're in, it's even more important to have people like this training and working with the younger generations, the older generations, and kind of continuing to get that work in. So that was kind of where again, with episode 1 for us on this Tough Talks motivation, we really wanted to bring in somebody good, somebody fantastic, somebody motivational, somebody who kind of brings it all, and that was Coach Tion. So that's kind of why we brought him in. So Coach Tion, I appreciate you, man. I thank you for coming in and being on this first one.
Man, it's an absolute pleasure. Like you said, man, from day one, we beeline to each other because as soon as you start talking, I was like, this is the guy. This is how I grew up. This is the talk that I got that pushed me forward. So, I'm honored to be your first guest, you know what I mean? So
I appreciate
thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. All
right, so let's kind of get into this a little bit. So give me a little background, to be honest, on you. You brought up your background and kind of you were this is kind of the conversations that you had when you were growing up. So give me a little backstory on you.
So I'm originally from Louisiana. A lot of people don't know that. So I'm kind of new to the California environment. Not new as to say like this is my first time. It's like this is new for me. So I grew up in a segregated area. We had a black high school. We had a white high school. It wasn't that we didn't get along. That's just how it was. Like there was no racial tension. That's just how it was. So that's my background and where I grew up from. I started playing basketball at a young age, but when I was young, I want to share a story with you that really got me like the person I am today. So one story. So I have really bad asthma, right? Okay. And I'm from the South. Like we didn't have really the medication. We're poor, whatever the case may be. So I love basketball, but my mom like, nope. My coach like, nope, can't play, bro. You got asthma. Like, chill out. Like, nah, man, you're not about to tell me that. Whatever. So I go to the gym, rec center, whatever, start playing, catch an asthma attack, right? Didn't have my medicine because I'm 10 years old. I'm irresponsible. So catch an asthma attack, lose consciousness, pass out, right? I wake up. This is probably happened in the morning. When I woke up, it was nighttime. I actually clinically died. Like I had to be resuscitated.
Wow.
So the reason why I mentioned this story is because when I woke up and came to and understood that what happened, for me in my mind, it said, there's something bigger for you, right? And as a kid, you don't know, but I'm like, I'm here for a reason. But I didn't know that reason until later on in life. So me having an asthma attack while playing a sport that I love showed me that there's something for basketball for me, right? That's something for basketball for me. So I'm going through all the way through up to high school, and I get to my junior year, and I wanted to play college basketball. The town I'm from is a city of 4,000 people. When no coaches coming there, wasn't a lot of people getting scholarships to play basketball. I had 2 options. I was going to go on the streets and figure it out or not go to school.
Yeah.
So I'm working out at the rec center, and one of my teammates who passed away named Otis Adams, he's working me out, and I'm tired. I'm like, dog, bro, I'm done. I can't do this. I'm out. And he was like, didn't you say you want to play college basketball? I said, yeah. It's like, this ain't going to cut it, bro. Like, you're not that good, right? This is my friend telling me this. He was wise beyond his age. You're not that good at basketball, right? And you're tired and you're complaining. And I was like, man, but I'm tired though. It's like, so? There's a million other people that has the same dream. And he asked me one question that shifted my whole mindset. What's stopping you? Like those 3 words, I swear to God, like changed my mindset. Like really, what is stopping me? Are the coaches who not coming here stopping me? Or the points that I'm averaging stopping me? Nah, it's you. Yep. And I swear, man, once he told me that, my whole mindset changed to like, you know what? I'm the only person that can stop anything that happens to me. So I'm coming from a background of work. You have to work, man, to get where you're at. I wasn't talented, but I had 2 things. I had a great work ethic and I had pride. And that day when he challenged my pride, I was like, what? Man, I'm grown. I'm a grown man as a junior, right? I'm a grown man. You know what I mean? So that started me on the track to like, you know what? Anything that I want to do, I just have to work for it. So end up getting a scholarship to a junior college. After junior college, played 2 years, right? I thought I was a D1 player coming out of high school. Was not, right? That's the reality that most kids don't want to – they don't want to hear that truth. It's like, I'm D1. Yeah.
That's what everybody tells you, but that's not always the case.
I mean, that's what I was being told. Yeah. All right, to let you know, hey, you D1, you good, bro. You about to go pro. Really? Like, is that easy? Right? Is that easy? Yeah. So with the JC route, you know what? That was my only option because my school that I wanted to go to was LSU. Like LSU was big during that time. Like I'm LSU, but I wasn't LSU material. But I didn't know that until I got the scholarship to go to JC. So whatever. Did my 2 years at JC. Really got my work ethic down because JC is a grind, brother. You can ask anybody who went to JC. Yeah, it sucks. He's not big time. I didn't care. I was playing basketball, right? Did my 2 years there.
Like not interject, right? But when you say JC, I think that the problem nowadays that I see, especially working with so many high school kids, athletes like you, is people have this negative, like this all of a sudden this misconception that, oh man, I'm going to JC, I failed. But to me, it's like junior college is an absolute must for a lot of guys to continue to showcase. They settle. I've seen so many athletes settle on a smaller school or a school they don't want to go to at all, right? They go and then they're unhappy and they end up leaving and they set themselves back rather than just saying, look, you know what? I didn't get the offers I wanted. I'm going to a junior college. I'm going to continue to hone in, develop my skills, and then I'll get to where I need to be, right? I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like from where you were at.
No, absolutely. So to go from D1 expectations to go to a community college is like you failed in some sort of way. But we don't look at it like it's like, well, for me, I did think about that, but I was like, wait a minute. This is another opportunity for me to keep working on myself. But a lot of kids in this area that we work with, DVC, man, is probably one of the best colleges in California. You ask the kids, hey, you should go to DVC. They're like, no, flat out. But they'll go to Seattle, Washington, or New York and go to a JC. I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
They'll go D3. They'll go D3. Like, oh, no, I'm going to college. It's like, but, bro, there's more talent on DVC than there is at that D3. But you're going to settle because it's a 4-year versus a junior college. That misconception is just so real.
Now it is. I mean, because a lot of people don't want to be told the truth, man. You're not good enough for D1. You're not good enough for D2. You're not good enough for D3. You should go to JUCO route, hone your skills, and go. Right? But like we always talk about, there's a lot of bad information out here for these kids. So luckily, I mean, I was prideful, and I was like, you know what? I'm the first person in my family. I'm the oldest of 4. Like, hey, I got to show my siblings, like, hey, I may not reach my goal that I wanted, but I'm still going to keep fighting. And I had to do that all my life, you know what I mean? Because I don't even want my brothers and sisters to think like, well, he didn't get what he wanted, so he quit. Like, there was never, ever in my mindset. And being that I had asthma, you know, nobody, my coaches, my teammates, nobody knew I had asthma until I said, hey, I have asthma. Because I'm not going to let asthma like, oh, well, he had asthma. Don't make him run so hard. He has asthma. Asthma is not going to be the reason why I don't make it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And a lot of people that, like kids that I train, is like, well, I got this. I'm like, bro, I literally can't breathe. And I'm doing a sport that you need your breath. Like, it's it's amazing to me that the amount of excuses that I hear from kids. But anyway, went to St. Mary's, did my 2 years there. Again, thought I was better than I was. Didn't get the opportunity that I wanted to. Started grinding. You know, I got a gig over in China for 1 year. Did that. At this time, going overseas wasn't popular. You know what I mean? So yeah. I was never told, like, hey, go over there for 1 year. You're going to get paid crap. And I got paid crap. But that's how you get your foot in the door. And I didn't have the mentor, didn't have the information, didn't have people telling me, you know, in my corner telling me, like, hey, that's how it goes. Like, keep going. You're going to get that big contract. So in a way, I gave up on my dream because I like, you know what? I'm good enough. They should pay me big time. But like, I didn't want to face that reality, right? Yeah. So whatever. Got a corporate job. I was like, man, I can't do this, bro. I can't do this. My passion, I love basketball so much. So quit my job. My wife, she was like, what's your backup plan? I don't have one. I want to play basketball. Whatever. So I started back training. This is at 24 Fitness when it was like real big. They had a skill development program in there. Every day I'm working out. Coaches would come out like, hey, you should train kids. Man, they ain't training no kids, man. What's wrong with you? I ain't babysitting nobody kids. I'm trying to go pro. For like 2 weeks, they kept harassing me, man. I'm like, okay, it's all good. Whatever. So I obliged them by, you know, just hanging out with them for a week. I'm shadowing the trainer, Deshaun Freeman, who was my mentor, still is. And I was like, oh, this is what you guys are doing? They're not babysitting. They was like actually like putting kids through great workouts. So I'm like, yes, why wouldn't I want to do that? So that's why I got into the training business by me still working out, trying to go pro, trying to work on my stuff. And somebody like saw my work ethic and be like, you know what? Let me get this guy an opportunity. So I took that opportunity to still further what I want to do in basketball. It wasn't what I wanted to do, but it was still part of basketball. So in a way, I didn't give up on my dreams because I stayed with something that I love. And now that I'm looking back, this is the goal. This was the mission when I was resuscitated that day when I had asthma. Like, hey, this is why you're here. Yeah. Not to play pro, to help other kids, hopefully go pro, but to make sure that they understand what it takes. You know what I mean? So now I'm 12 years in the game doing what I love.
Yeah, I mean, but so you evolved, right? I mean, you at the end of the day, you didn't get there. You're not sitting at a professional level. But I think one of the things that I like to talk to, like when I talk to people, obviously, is like, hey, like find somebody who's had to struggle, who's had to kind of grind through, that had to work, because they make the best coaches. The ones who have this natural, like, you know, DNA, right? Like anybody can train anybody with DNA, right? And what DNA means is basically they got all the talent in the world, right? They're already fast. They already can jump. They already can shoot. They do all this stuff, but they lack all the other characteristics that really matter, which is the mindset, it's the heart, it's all those variables that you really can't track with a number, right? And exactly. I think the best coaches in the world are always the ones that had to kind of struggle and push and fight and push and fight and struggle and push and fight and figure out a way. Absolutely. They may not have got to that ultimate goal. And it's like we talk about, everybody sets this like, okay, I have a goal, right? I have this goal. This is my goal. And that's great. Attain the goal. But what really matters is this process. The process matters, because the process will end up maybe putting you in another goal. And I think that's like I said, it's like, there's nothing wrong, man. You went to junior college. I had to go to junior college. I wanted to play college football. I got to the point where I had figured out that when I made it to, you know, when I went through junior college, went to San Diego State, and figured out, you know what? I'm not good enough to make it in the NFL, but I certainly do like strength and conditioning. Right. So I was able to basically take that decision and say, you know what, I'm going to focus on my career. Well, my career was never strength and conditioning. My career was to basically, I wanted to play football. Right. But I had to adjust. So I think that's the stuff that, like, I look at and I'm like, man, that's where people need to hear. That's what kids need to be able to learn from, rather than just say, you know what, I was the best player always. Because the best player always is often the one that is not a good coach and can't teach you anything.
Right. I agree.
You know, but moving through that, I mean, so my thing for you right now is, how would you take a young, like if you're going to look at it right now, you're coaching a kid, the development model, like I said, what attracted to you the most had to do with the overall picture. It wasn't just some skill. It wasn't just, all right, I'm going to take these kids through this skill session and then they're out. You and I always had this hard time with inconsistency from athletes. If you're going to be better at something, you got to be consistent, right? You have to have your work ethic and consistency. So you and I are on that same page. So Absolutely. If you're right now coaching a young to old athlete, let's say you have them at 7, and they're going all the way up to through high school, what should they be focusing on through that developmental model? Basketball specific, and athlete-wise for that matter, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, for me, as I've been throughout this business and getting better with myself, I think the first and most important thing is to, again, write down what it is that you wanted to be. What do you want to be? And then we'll figure out a way to get that. But most people don't have the mindset of this is what I want, right? It doesn't have to be very specific at a young age, but hey, I want to be able to play college basketball. Okay. Then we're going to backtrack. Okay. This is what college basketball players do. Okay. Before I get to college, what I got to do? Okay. High school. Okay. This is what high school players. So I want to make sure that they know what they want, right? Mm-hmm. If they don't know what they want, I can't help you. It's like, I just want to be a basketball player. Well, you can do that with anybody. Again, I'm not a trainer who wants you to be a great basketball player. I want you to be able to go into any business and succeed. You know what I mean? So, and then the second thing I would do is what I've learned, and in my first 3 years of doing this, I didn't do is, are you willing to do whatever it takes, right, to make this happen? And if the answer is, I don't know, it stops. I mean, it's easy for a person to be like, I want this, but it's way harder to say, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I've learned to like scale down my clients based on that. In my first initial interaction with them, I was like, here's what it takes. Can you do this every single day? And if you can't, we're going to have problems down the line. So before we even get there, done. So with me, I want to make sure that they have a good support system. After we get all the talk out the way, I mean, I would start off definitely with the fundamentals, like understanding like, hey, most players don't want to do the boring stuff that we talk about. Yeah. Like you have to be able to stretch. You got to be able to eat right. You got to be able to do all these necessary things. You got to be able to do things that won't get a lot of likes on social media.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly, right?
Right. They don't
living on social media these days, especially youth. They think they got to show the best skill, show your everyday life, right?
Right.
Show them vacuuming,
right?
Rolling,
exactly,
pitching, right?
Exactly. And the thing is with the athletes today, I try to be honest, man. And I've lost a lot of clients by being honest with them. Yep. And you know that too. I'm telling you, hey, you're not good enough. This sucks. This, that, in the fourth. And it's like, well, why? Well, Coach Jimmy John said that I'm not him.
Real.
And for me, it's unfortunate, right? Because my heart's in the right place and your heart's in the right place. But telling somebody the truth is a quick way to lose money, right? Absolutely. You know you got to pay bills. So, but from a training standpoint is, hey, we're going to do the little things. These little things going to make you way better than you thinking about these big things. So we start off with just the basics, the foundational stuff, and try to build from there. As we get better, we put in motion that, hey, now let's attack like your mental side of it, because I want to make sure that you can move physically first and then mentally. So with me, I've learned that a lot of kids, and I told you, a lot of kids struggle moving with the ball because they can't, their strength, their balance, the other part outside of basketball stuff is terrible. Like I had a conversation with you about, I tried to make a kid do a between the legs change direction. It's not that they can't do it. Their body don't know how to respond to that stimulus. You know what I mean? So,
oh, absolutely.
It's like, man, I thought this kid can't dribble. Yeah, he can dribble. He's not coordinated enough to dribble, right? It's those things that, hey, stretching. Hey, work on your balance. Work on your core. You're weak in that area. So building a program based around the weaknesses is where I start. And a lot of kids' weaknesses is their strength. Like they're physically not ready to be an athlete. Yeah. Which is crazy for me because when I was growing up, I don't know, I think I trained more physically, like to be prepared for any situation. These kids, I think, do the backwards way around, like, you know what, I'm going to get all these skills and then I'm going to get the rest later, where no, it don't happen like that. Get your foundation, which is your mind and your body, get that right, And then anything you add on to it is just going to be that much easier. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just making sure that they understand what they need to do, how to do it, and holding them accountable. You know
Yeah,
what
I
mean?
think summarizing like that, man, it's purpose, right? I think finding your purpose is number one. I think, and that's like, even if you look at this poster right behind, it says purpose driven on it.
Yep.
Because I always try to express to people, it's like, look, man, if you don't have a purpose for what you're doing, you're pretty much, you're just throwing a dart out and like hoping it hits something, right? So you really have to you have to have a purpose of what you're doing at every activity, at every session, the overall picture. But the thing I like the most is that you look at it and you go, okay, what's your first skill? What's like, people go, okay, we got to have skills, right? Well, you're like, okay, our skill is actually our plan. The plan is the skill, because everything else will come with it, but the plan is the skill. To me, that's the most important thing, because now you're talking about, okay, look, I'm going to give you focus. I'm going to give you drive, because it is going to require sacrifice, right? You said, are you willing to do anything? I ask anybody, I'll ask physique people. They're like, oh, I want to look like that. I said, okay, great. Are you willing to do this, and this?
Right.
No. Then you're not going to look like that. So we need to set those goals down into a more realistic outlook. Yep. It's the same thing when I work with high school kids transitioning to college sports. I said, all right, I'll work with you. Will you do A, B, C, and D? No? Then I don't want to work with you, because my job is to make you a professional. That means you sleep. That means you recover by rolling. You stretch. You work on this. You do this. You do that. Your nutrition, right? But I think that's where a lot of people get off. And I'm like, it's not going to happen for you then. Because it is a grind. Every day is a grind. You got to get up. Oh, man, I'm sore. This. Am I hurt or am I sore? Am I injured or am I, you know what I mean? Those are all those questions that these guys have and these kids need to learn. So I'm like, all right. It's crazy. It's crazy. But overall development, man, is key. But the thing that gets me, and like I said, you and I have talked, and what we click so much about is the mindset thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, so for me to you, it's like, or even from you to everybody else listening, it's like, how important is talent early on over mindset? Or is mindset over talent? Like which one are you going to weigh in? Because they're both skills. Right. Like you're going to develop. Now you could develop them both. But which one, I think mindset, from my opinion, mindset's the most important skill to develop. Right. Then everything else.
Right. So, I mean, so I have a kid who's been training me for probably 4, maybe 5 years. And he wasn't with me previous to that. He's with another trainer. Mm-hmm. And most people, I'll say, they want to try to give me credit for it because the kid has matured into like some phenomenal athlete. But I told the parents, and I tell a lot of kids, I was like, early on, this kid was put in a situation that he did not like. And he wasn't skilled. So he was put in situations where he had to learn how to work hard. Yeah. He had to be put in situations that it was very uncomfortable for him. So all these situations, he doesn't have skill, but he has his drive. He has his work ethic. He has all those intangible things. Now he's coming into my training and it's just blossoming, right? Because the foundation was set, like you said, with the mindset. Like, I don't even have to talk to him about the mind stuff. He got that, right? He got all the, I can be tough, I'm strong. But because he had that, it only made him excel faster when he got to an age where it's clicking. And for me, a lot of people are not put into tough situations because it looks like failure. It looks like loss. It looks like it's ugly. And as a parent, who wants to see their kid struggle? Like, I'm going to put Ton in something that he's going to struggle. He may not like it, but he's going to be appreciative of it. And to tell a parent
eventually, right? He may not be appreciative right now, but he will be eventually.
Will be.
You the same thing. I feel it. It took me a long, but I appreciate my parents making me struggle, right?
Right. It just made you that much better when it sounded like, damn, he's tough and now he got some skills. So to your point, getting the kid to understand how important it is to like be uncomfortable and go through these tough things, it's paramount for their success. And that's the way I teach from, like, bro, if you can't make a left hand layup, right? You're struggling. Okay, you're struggling. you're struggling. Eventually, you're going to make a left-hand layup. But if you self-defeat yourself, you know what, I'm never going to make a left-hand layup, you're correct. You're never going to make a left-hand layup because you just told yourself, I'm never going to do that. And the part where I come in is try to make them believe that, hey, you can, right? Think about when you was little. I always use this example. Think about when you was little, when you was walking. Nobody got up and walked right out from crawling. Bro, it took you thousands, millions of tries to get your legs stronger, get your balance, you know what I mean, to try to see how, hey, I can do this.
Yeah.
But for us, this generation don't want that process. They want to skip that. And that's my battle with most kids. Not showing them how to do all the fancy, cool stuff is you're not willing to work when there's adversity. And it's tough for me. And I struggle with kids who are like that because for me, I feel like if I can make it, and I'm talking about if I can make it, this is me, my background, my ailments, my situation, my height, what all of those things worked against me, but I didn't let it stop me. So my mindset is that you have it way better than I do. Yeah. Why are you not making it?
Correct.
Right? So it's here. It's always going to start there. You know what I mean?
Well, so that's a new generation, right? Because my last thing for you before I let you go, before I take up all your day, but that last thing is it's new generation. So you and I have talked about this, and again, I've seen it. Now we're at a high school level, and every new freshman class that comes in, I've seen it. It gets worse and worse and worse. And I don't want to say it's all bad, man, because there's some positivity behind things. I think social media plays a big factor. I think YouTube and all that other stuff plays a huge factor because you have parents who are trying to live through their kids all the time. But when my kid was so talented when he was 10, he was phenomenal. He's a 10-year-old stud. That doesn't mean anything. If you're going to ride your kid at 10, he's not making his own decisions. He's probably going to be burnt out by the time he's 16 and never want to play the sport again anyways. So you probably need to back off. But they see videos on YouTube like Steph Curry did this. Oh, okay. Steph Curry did it. Doesn't mean you can't. You still can't get a layup consistently. So why would you all of a sudden put 3 or 4 different skills within this drill, right? But then you have the failure component, right? Yep. They struggle, their body language. They miss a shot, right? Let's just say basketball specific. They miss a shot. You literally, okay, like you're gonna make 100%. Like you know, those are the kinds of struggles that we see. So I think going back to where you were at. So new generation. Let's say we're talking to a coach right now. What are the biggest struggles right now between social media, the attitudes, the demeanors, the entitlement, everything that's going on nowadays? Like, what are you seeing, and what do you think needs to be kind of done about it? Besides, obviously, I always tell the truth, right? So what to a coach?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, my message would be, it's tough because they want to consider you and I old heads and haters. It's like, I get it. It's new age. Things are changing. I get it. But the baseline stuff still stands. What I'm seeing is a lot of instant gratification. I'm seeing a lot of entitlement. I'm seeing a lot of kids who want to, they want it, they do want it. But when you tell them how to get that, it's like, yeah, I do, but can you make it a little bit easier for me so I can get there faster? They want it the fast track away. And it's super hard to it's not hard. I am honest. I try to be real with them. I try to show them there's 2 ways you can go. You can definitely go the easy way, which is cool, but you're going to fall way short of your goal. Yeah. Or you can go the hard way that sucks in the moment. It sucks right now, but it also can be bigger. I would say my thing to tell them is surround yourself with people who tell you the truth, 1. Number 2, always hold yourself up to a higher standard than the people who are around you are telling you, yeah, you're good. I can always be better, right? The one thing that I didn't do that I regretted is asking for help, asking questions. I remember coming out of college, me and my homeboy, we would go to these trial camps to be professional players, and I'm killing. He's killing. But I would never get the coach to come over and say, hey, we like you, we got this. I'm good enough. They better come pick me. But I always used to see him going around networking, talking. And at the end of the day, he had way more opportunity than me because he was humble enough to be like, you know what, I'm not good enough. Hey, coach, what I need to work on and what can I do next time for the trial? And I was bigger than that because, again, I thought, right, that I was good enough, but he got way more opportunity. And I look back and like, I always saw him talking to somebody after me. And to the kids today, in my workout, they ask no questions.
I do. Ask them why. Why? I always tell them, ask why.
It's like, and then I'll ask them, because if I don't explain it to you well enough, and you just go through the drill and I ask you, do you know why we're doing this? And they don't have an answer. I feel like I failed them. And I feel like they failed themselves. Like, bro, you doing this drill, you don't even know why you're doing this.
Yeah.
I was at the Steph Curry camp. We want to bring up Steph Curry. And he has his camp of 30 top high school female and male players. The one biggest thing that I took from that was when those guys didn't get the drill, they was over there asking questions. And this is the best of the best. This is not some Joe Schmo average guy who sits on the bench. And I'm like, wait a minute. These guys are the most talented in the area in the United States, and they are sitting there, coach, I can't get this footwork. Teach me, slow it down for me. I'm like, wait a minute. And I got kids in the workout who are complaining because I'm trying to show them I'm like, wait a minute. So surround yourself with the right people. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Ask questions. And then I think probably the last thing is, man, is be a person of integrity, right? You want to be able to, when Coach Mark is not coaching me, am I still doing what he asked me to do, right? When Tion's not coaching me, when my mom is telling me, am I still doing that without them saying anything, right? It's hard to do these things. I know it is. And I tell people all the time, if it was easy, everybody can do it. I know it's cliche, but that's the truth. If it was easy, everybody be professional. Everybody be making millions. It ain't. That's why there's a select few who make it. But your mindset has to be there to get there. So, yes, Instagram, all the social media is a great thing, but it's failing our kids because it's showing them that you can post highlights. It's cool. You should be able to get whatever you want because I post this highlights of all my mates. Like, it's terrible that we live in a generation like that. But at the same time, I always, I be telling my son, like, you're not going to learn until you learn. And what I mean by that, you ain't going to learn until by doing it. You're not going to learn that the stove is hot until you touch it. I told you it was hot. I told you.
Yeah.
But no, go ahead and touch it. Oh, it's hot. Now you understand. Yeah. Right. Yeah, and I think as coaches, sometimes we handicap kids because we give them too much. Right? Early on in my career, I gave kids everything. Here's what you got to do. I'm going to work harder for you than you. And 4 years later, that kid quit because guess what? I gave him everything that he wanted, and they didn't do it for themselves. So if they're not doing it for themselves, they're why, right? Why am I doing it? If they don't have that, it doesn't matter what kind of coach. You can have the best NBA coach, best strength trainer in the world. And that trainer is working harder than you, you're not going to make it.
You got to teach them how to fail. That's for sure, right?
Facts.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Again, like I said, I really was like, okay, I got to get this thing started. I want to get this thing rolling. It was like first person I was talking to Will, and I'm like, first person I want to talk to is Tion. So I appreciate you. Tell everybody, how do they get a hold of you? Where do they find you? So on and so forth.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, The Basketball Trainer. Also have my website, theballtrainer.com. I just started my nonprofit.
Okay.
And it's geared toward kids who are at risk, who don't have the resources, the funding, the whatever it is to get to the next level. I'm going to start ramping it up here soon, especially after the coronavirus shelter in place is lifted. I'm going to start doing more things in the community. I'm going to be reaching out more. So I don't want lack of this or that to stop someone, from making it to the next level. You know what I mean? And that would be my way of giving back. Like, you talk all this talk, coach, what are you doing to help? So I want to be able to be a resource for anybody who has those aspirations. You know what I mean? So the B-ball trainer, the basketball trainer on all social media. But it's not, everything's not free, just so you know. It's not free. You got to bring something
you got to pay mortgage.
Exactly. You got to come to the table. So,
well, again, I appreciate you. Again, I everyone who's watched and listened, man, hopefully you guys learned something. I think you guys realize that one of the most important skills to develop is that plan, that purpose that you guys need to find and be able to hone in on, that mindset training. So again, I appreciate you, Coach Tion. Thank you for coming in. Well, I guess not coming in, right? We can't go anywhere right now. But thank you for being a part of this first one. And again, we'll get some more out there. So thank you guys for tuning in.